This episode is brought to you by Patriot Gold Group. Protect your retirement assets and protect your future. Talk to the experts at Patriot Gold. They've been the top-rated gold IRA dealer for 7 years in a row. Go to patriotgoldgroup.com or call 1-888-621-3856 for a free investor guide. It's Monday, 19 August. Welcome to the PDB Afternoon Bulletin. I'm Mike Baker, your eyes and ears on the world stage. Let's get briefed. Today, we're deviating a bit from our normal afternoon bulletin to bring you another edition of the PDB Personnel Files. Now, every now and then, the PDB team puts together a profile of a key figure who's having significant impact on the world stage. It's an in-depth look at some of the influential and enigmatic leaders shaping global dynamics. And in this episode, we are definitely looking at an enigmatic leader. We're unraveling the story of a man who's dominated headlines and perplexed analysts since he took power. We're taking a closer look at Kim Jong-un, the supreme or dear leader of North Korea, as his minions refer to him. Now, to understand Kim Jong-un, we first have to start with his lineage as the third generation of North Korea's ruling dynasty. Kim is the grandson of Kim Il-sung, and that's the man who founded the Democratic People's Republic of Korea back in 1948. Kim Il-sung is practically revered as a god in the DPRK, and that's not hyperbole. There's actual mythology surrounding his birth, including tales of supernatural phenomena like the appearance of a double rainbow and a new star in the sky upon his birth. Kim Jong-un's father, Kim Jong-il, carried on this legacy, ruling North Korea from 1994 until his death in 2011. He was similarly venerated with stories of miraculous events. It was claimed that Kim Jong-il had the ability to control the weather. Ooh, that's quite the ability. According to state media, which I suppose you do have to take with a grain of salt when you're talking about North Korean state media, he could make the rain stop and the sun shine at his command. That's in addition to more mundane stories, like the one where he shot 11 holes in one during his very first ever round of golf. It was as part of this legendary dynasty that Kim Jong-un was born on January 8, 1984, although, as with many things North Korean, there's a bit of mystery surrounding his exact birth date. Some sources have his birthday 1 or 2 years earlier. He's the third and youngest son of Kim Jong-il and Ko Young-hee, a Japanese-born dancer who was Kim Jong-il's favorite mistress. How romantic is that? Kim Jong-un's early years were spent in the highly controlled and secretive environment in the North Korean capital of Pyongyang. Now, he lived in luxurious compounds reserved for the ruling elite, isolated from the general population, and constantly surrounded by attendants and security personnel. From a young age, he and his siblings were groomed for potential leadership roles. This involved a combination of intensive education, ideological indoctrination, and exposure to the inner workings of the North Korean regime. The children were educated by private tutors and attended exclusive schools in Pyongyang designed for the children of the elite. While Kim Jong-il played a significant role in his children's upbringing, he wasn't exactly father of the year. He reportedly was known for being aloof and distant with his children. However, he ensured that they were instilled with the importance of maintaining the family's dynastic rule and the principles of Juche, which is North Korea's state ideology, focuses on self-reliance and the absolute authority of the Kim family. Kim Jong-un didn't spend all his early years in North Korea, however. In the late 90s, he was sent overseas to further his education, attending several prestigious schools in Switzerland. During his time there, his identity was a closely guarded secret, even from his classmates and teachers. He used the pseudonym Pak-un, and his cover story was that he was the son of an employee at the North Korean embassy. Kim was known to be a shy student and is reported to have picked up several Western habits and interests while in Switzerland. He reportedly developed a taste for Western foods, including fast food like pizzas and burgers, but also more high-end delicacies like fondue and Swiss cheese. Oh, very sophisticated. Just to be clear, I am not making any of this up as we go along. He also developed a strong interest in basketball, particularly in the NBA and the Chicago Bulls. He was often seen sporting a pair of Air Jordans. He was also known to be an avid video game player, an interest which many believe he retains. Interesting to note that the next time you sit down and find yourself playing Call of Duty, well, it could be alongside a dictator. Up next, we'll have more on the life and career of Kim Jong-un, including his rise to supreme leader and his consolidation of power. We'll be right back.
You know, every day we hear more about surveillance and how our right to privacy is being infringed upon, and that's true. It feels like we're living in a world where, well, nothing is truly private anymore. Most of us, and frankly for the sake of convenience, we hand over our personal information without a second thought, signing up for services, shopping online, or using social media. But this convenience, as you might guess, comes at a cost. Now, it's time for us to take a stand and fight back for our right to privacy. And one tool that's been essential for me in this fight is the all-in-one privacy app called MySudo. That's MySudo, MySudo. It's an app that lets you create multiple digital identities with separate phone numbers and emails so you can keep your personal information private. In this age of constant surveillance, having MySudo is crucial. Look, for my listeners, I've got a special deal. Go to mysudo.com/Mike Baker and use code Mike Baker to get 30 days free on a Sudo Pro yearly subscription. Take back your privacy with MySudo. Trust me, it's worth it.
Welcome back to the PDB Personnel File of Kim Jong-un. I want to start this segment by taking a brief look at Kim Jong-un's immediate family. It's worth noting that he wasn't always considered the heir apparent. As mentioned earlier, he does have several siblings, including brothers and half-brothers, who were also potential candidates for the role of supreme leader. Initially, his older half-brother, Kim Jong-nam, was considered their father's natural heir. He was the son of a North Korean actress who was involved in a secret relationship with Kim Jong-il. That guy really got around. However, Kim Jong-nam fell out of favor after a series of embarrassing incidents, including an ill-fated attempt to visit Tokyo Disneyland using a fake passport. This embarrassment reportedly shifted the focus to Kim Jong-un and his older brother, Kim Jong-chol. Despite being next in line, Kim Jong-chol was deemed unsuitable for the role of supreme leader. Now, it's not entirely clear why he was passed over, but reports suggested Kim Jong-il considered him too effeminate and lacking the leadership qualities necessary to rule North Korea. He remains largely out of the public spotlight to this day, though, interestingly enough, he's been seen at numerous Eric Clapton concerts over the past several decades. Again, not making this up. So that left the top spot to young Kim Jong-un, and in 2011, following the death of his father, he was thrust into the global spotlight as the new supreme leader of North Korea. At just 27 years old, many doubted his ability to maintain control over the Hermit Kingdom, but Kim quickly demonstrated not only political acumen, but incredible ruthlessness. He consolidated power by purging potential rivals, most notably members of his own family. The first to go was Jang Song-taek, Kim's uncle. Jang was considered the second most powerful man in North Korea, and he actually played a crucial role in Kim Jong-un's rise to power. However, in December 2013, he was suddenly arrested, publicly humiliated, and accused of treason, corruption, and plotting to overthrow the government. Reports on the method of execution vary, with some suggesting that he was shot by a firing squad, while other reports claim that he was executed by anti-aircraft gunfire. Wow. A few years later, Kim Jong-nam, the estranged half-brother who was living in exile, was assassinated in a high-profile attack at Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia. In February of 2017, he was approached by two women who they believed they were taking part in a YouTube prank show. The pair smeared his face with VX nerve agent, and he died on the way to the hospital. In total, Kim Jong-un is believed to have purged hundreds of officials since he came to power in 2011. Estimates vary, but reports suggest that he's executed or removed between 200 to 340 individuals in his efforts to consolidate power and eliminate potential threats. Kim's brutality sent a clear message. No one was untouchable, not even those with close ties to the ruling family. This created an atmosphere of fear and reinforced loyalty among senior officials. Yeah, it would tend to do that. Under Kim Jong-un's rule, North Korea has continued its provocative behavior on the global stage, particularly with its nuclear program. In 2017, the country conducted its sixth nuclear test and claimed it had developed a hydrogen bomb. These actions have led, of course, to severe international sanctions and widespread condemnation, yet Kim has managed to maintain a tight grip on power. Kim Jong-un's leadership style is a mix of traditional North Korean isolationism and surprising diplomatic engagement. He's met with several world leaders, most notably former U.S. President Donald Trump. The two leaders held a series of high-profile summits, starting with their historic meeting in Singapore in June of 2018. He's also drawn his nation closer to Russia, leveraging stockpiles of Soviet-era weapons in exchange for advanced satellite and military technology. On the domestic side, life in North Korea under Kim Jong-un remains incredibly harsh for its citizens, with widespread human rights abuses and severe restrictions on freedom, not to mention general malnutrition of the entire population. Despite efforts at revitalization, the country's economy is in dire straits due to ongoing sanctions. The DPRK remains largely reliant on its relationship with China and now as well with Russia to make ends meet. Yet despite the problems, Kim's grip on power appears unshaken, and that's due in large part to his personality cult, a public image that remains at odds with his personal life. He's known to enjoy luxury goods, including expensive liquors like Hennessy brandy, and apparently a real favorite is Black Label Scotch. Reports suggest he has a private island and a fleet of luxury cars. His love for basketball also persists, with former NBA star Dennis Rodman becoming an unlikely friend and frequent visitor to North Korea. Kim Jong-un is also a family man. He's married to, well, that makes him sound a little bit too nice, right? Let's not overdo it. He's married to Ri Sol-ju, a former singer, and the couple has 3 children, though their identities and ages are closely guarded secrets. His younger sister, Kim Yo-jong, has also risen to prominence, often seen as his closest confidant and a key player in the regime. Coming up, after the break, we're going to conclude our profile of North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un by examining an interesting aspect of his life, his passion for cheese. Seriously, I'll be right back. Welcome back to the PDB Personnel Files. We're taking a look in this episode at the North Korean Supreme Leader, Kim Jong-un. Okay, we're going to finish things off today by exploring let's call it a lesser-known aspect of his life, and that would be his unusual passion for cheese. Kim Jong-un's love for cheese, specifically Swiss Emmental, is more than just a casual liking. It appears to be an obsession. The fascination began during his time in Switzerland, where he first encountered the rich flavors of European cheeses. I sound like a cheese ad, don't I? Emmental, which has a distinctive nutty taste, quickly became his favorite. Okay, look, you have to admit, this is the sort of in-depth world leader profile that you're just not going to find anywhere else. Okay, getting back to Kim Jong-un and cheese. After returning to North Korea, Kim Jong-un's craving for this delicacy didn't diminish. In fact, he went to great lengths to ensure a steady supply of his favorite cheese. Reports suggest that he even sent North Korean chefs to France to learn the art of cheesemaking, hoping to replicate the quality of Swiss Emmental within his isolated nation. Now, this effort was part of a broader initiative to import and produce Western luxury goods, reflecting his desire to enjoy the finer things in life despite North Korea's dire economic conditions. Kim Jong-un's cheese obsession isn't just a quirky personal preference, although it is. It's also had significant health implications. His excessive consumption has been linked to his noticeable weight gain over the years, contributing to various health issues. In 2014, there were widespread rumors that his sudden disappearance from public view was due to medical treatment related to his obesity and excessive cheese intake. This highlights a stark contrast in Kim Jong-un's life. On one hand, he projects an image of a stern, unyielding leader dedicated to his country's isolationist policies. On the other, he indulges in luxuries that are quintessentially Western, showcasing a side of him that remains largely hidden, of course, from the public eye. It's these hidden facets and contradictions that make Kim Jong-un such a bizarre and interesting figure on the world stage. Whether it's his secretive schooling in Switzerland or his unexpected love for Swiss cheese, these glimpses into his personal life provide a richer understanding of the ruthless dictator behind the often rigid and secretive facade. And that, my friends, is the PDB personnel file for Kim Jong-un. We'll be back tomorrow morning with our regular PDB news coverage. Also, if you're hankering for an ad-free experience, be sure to check out our premium membership at pdbpremium.com. I'm Mike Baker, and I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, stay informed, stay safe, stay cool.